Shalom Aleichem Rabotai, this is Rabbi Kovacs. It is the 46th day of the Omer, the second day of Sivan, even the first day of June, and we are continuing the Mishnah Yomi with the 8th parak of Sheviit. In the 7th parak, we talked about some non-food uses for Perot Sheviit, and we have a similar concept regarding medicine right here, the first Mishnah of the 8th parak, Klal Gadol Amru B'Shviit. They said a big rule about Sheviit. Kol miyuchad l'malchal adam, a foodstuff that is specifically for person use, that human beings eat it. Ein osin mimenu milugma me'odam. We don't make milugma. Milugma is like an ointment or a bandage over a wound. The word itself is milugma, from a cheek full. They would take a cheek full of wheat kernels or some sort of herbs or grasses or whatever it was that had medicinal value, and they'd chew it up into like a lump, and they would bandage it onto a wound or onto a rash to have the desired medicinal effect. So since this is not eating it, it's simply using it as medicine, you can't do this with Perot Sheviit. And if it's a food for people, you really can't use it for behema, not even for adam. Something that's not human food, but not for an animal. So it's not really a food for people. You can use it medicinally for people. If it's some sort of produce that's not really for human or animal consumption, we're going to see it's some kind of wood or sticks or twigs or something. If when he picked it or gathered it, he intended to eat it, to use it for a spice, or cook it up and make it into fit for human consumption, then it has the chumras that it can't be used for medicine anymore, because his intention when he gathered it up from Perot Sheviit was to consume it. If he gathered it up just to burn it or as fuel, so it has the status of wood as fuel. The examples are pennyroyal, hyssop, and kornit. They translate as savory. These are herbs that could be used for human consumption as spices, but they could also be used simply as fuel or kindling. So we see that items used as food that have kedusha shvit, they shouldn't be used as medicine. That's interesting. The Rambam was an expert doctor. He's called Gadol Rofim by the Shulchan Aruch, and he has a explanation about eating food as medicine, that the foods you eat have a very large component in determining your overall health. And if you look in Hilchos Deot, in the 4th parak, the Rambam tells you what to eat, what not to eat, what's in season, what's not in season. And he has a lot of explanations about the health benefits of certain foods. But if you look in Deot, 4th parak, Parak Daled, Halacha Yud Daled, I love this take-home Rambam. He says, Od klal acher amru b'vriyot aguf. There's another big rule about the health of the body. Kozman she'adam mit amil v'yagea harbe. When someone exercises and exerts himself a lot, they call it working up a schwitz. That's the technical term. Ve'eno seveya, and he doesn't fill up his stomach. Me'av rofin, and his kishkas, his intestines are moving. They're keeping things going, not holding on to the waist. Ein choli balav v'kocho mitchazek. He doesn't get sick. He doesn't get digestion problems, and he gets stronger. Afilu ochel machal roim, even if he eats junk food. So it's beautiful. The Rambam just told you what to eat, what not to eat, to stay away from junk food. And now in Parak 14, in Halacha 14, in the 4th Parak, he tells you if you're exercising, you're really working, burning it off, they call it, you're even allowed to eat junk food. So I hold by that Rambam Lamaisa. So Mishnah Beis, Perek Ches, Mishnah Beis, Sheviit, Nitno Lachila, L'shti L'sicha. The Perot Sheviit, the growth in the 7th year, is given over to everyone to eat, to drink, and to anoint with. Le'echol davar shadarko le'echol. Eat what's normally eaten. Lasuch davar shadarko lasuch. Anoint with something usually used for anointing, like olive oil was commonly used on the skin. Lo yasuch yain v'chametz. Don't anoint with wine or vinegar. Those are normally drank, not anointed with. Aval sachu et hashemen. But you can use any oil to anoint your skin. V'chen b'truma meiser sheni. So too, truma and meiser sheni that have a level of kedusha, they shouldn't be wasted. You shouldn't rub, expensive wine on one's skin. That's what oil's for. That's what Hashem gave us that. Kal mechem shvit shenitna lahadlokat ner. But shvit, Perot Sheviit, is more makel than truma and meiser because you can burn it in lighting your candles. You could take your Sheviit olive oil and light your Hanukkah candles or your Shabbos candles, something we don't do with truma and meiser. You might have heard there is sometimes we burn truma and meiser. That's when when truma became tameya, then it has to be burnt and could be used by the kohanim as fuel. But Sheviit, anybody could use the oil or the twigs of Sheviit as a fuel. This idea also has ramifications for Chilchot Brachot. If something is never normally eaten, it's not normally a food, but someone consumes it anyway, then it wouldn't require a bracha. Shkoyach Rabos.